Welcome back to another podcast of No Sugar, No Cream. We are excited, thrilled, right on schedule to be here. It is Tuesday, wink, wink. Just a day late, things happen. Um, uh, but we are here and hope you going live just a few minutes early like we like to do because we're so punctual like that. We'll just ignore that we're 24 hours late. Guys, hope you're doing well. It is a lovely day here in Nashville. We got some exciting plan for today. We're going to a concert this evening. Should be fun. And downtown Nashville there. And what's his name? I was like, Marcus King. Yes, I know what he looks like. In fact, I've seen him live before. Yeah, a couple times, I guess. Well, it was the same day. I went to the after show, and he was playing at the after show of the Kill Tony show. So we got some decent tickets, and looking forward to that tonight at 7:30. Just of course, we're keeping up a little bit with the NBA, even though sadly the Celtics um, are not in it, and of course the Warriors, who I follow a little bit, they had no chance. Well, I mean, I guess they did when they did do the play-in tournament and got through that. So, but they were out the first round, and then but we'll see after just a couple more games left. Looks like OKC might wrap it up tonight. Or is that tonight? No, maybe that's tomorrow. But and then Knicks are officially in the playoffs. So
in the finals, you mean?
In the finals, which they haven't done since, I guess, the 90s, or was it 89 they said, or like then they've been in the finals?
Finals, no, 94 for sure. And they might have made it in their early aughts. It seems to me they made the finals in the early aughts.
Okay. But
haven't won a championship since 1973, I think.
Yeah. So you're wearing one of your snazzy, nice shirts there.
Yeah.
You've been in hit your Tim's been into some cool fashion here lately and get some really good deals. So but I like that shirt. That looks
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite shirt now with all these new items? You got quite the
I've become
assortment.
a budget shopper, going to the getting $100 shirts for like under $10 if you go to Ross's. Or
you're posting on Instagram too, right?
I have been. I did it all last week. I haven't done.
Check out Tim's Tim's fit on Instagram.
Well, they're only on there for 24 hours and they're gone.
Oh, the story. Yeah. So go like his story quickly. Be a good
But I
fan.
haven't posted this week, but I need to do that. But so just trying to pay attention to. I used to be, when I lived some years ago, I was kind of a clothes horse, and I was known for having a lot of great fit before you called it fit. And then I moved to South Dakota, and overalls were the fit that people wore.
Right.
You're always dirty and working in the fields and working with the animals.
You got shamed for having a Porsche from a cop.
Because I remember I had an old Porsche 911. And I remember I had a lead foot, and I got pulled over, and the lady cop come up, and she wanted to know, she hadn't seen one of those in South Dakota. And but I did. Farmers don't have Porsches. Like, lady, come on, you're looking at one.
She's trying to. What's more offensive, that that she didn't think you were a farmer, or she didn't like your Porsche? So that's funny. Like, okay, nope, just gotcha. I'm a banker. Finance. I'm in finance.
Yeah. I wish I still had that car. It's worth a lot because it was air cooled.
I know you just blew my mind. I didn't realize that was a 911.
That was a 911.
That's the
It was a
pristine ones, right?
74.
Like, that's
Well,
the-
I
or
mean,
considered-
74 air cooled 911, and now they switched over to water cooled around 2000. And I have a 2000 911 water cooled that I am quite fortunate to have. But I mean, it's 26 years old. So, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about a Porsche. You can't tell if it's a brand new or if it's 26 years old because I haven't changed the body style that much.
So what's that mean?
So-
The water cooled?
Well, the engine usually have a radiator with water in it, right? And a
Right,
water pump to
right.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the 911s were air cooled. Somehow they designed them so that the pistons would stay cool with just airflow, no water. And they went away from that. I think the first year was around 2000. I might have one of the first generation of going to water cooled. I don't know why they went away from it, but the air cooled now, I've heard air cooled 911s are worth six figures. I've heard. They're quite rare. Maybe not quite that much, but if I still had my 1974, I'm going to venture that's worth a lot of money.
So did Porsche have the? I mean, did they invent that? The air cool, that technology?
I don't think so, but
That's pretty crazy. I never had heard of that. That seems pretty amazing. And I mean, it must have been pretty efficient, and did not have to use coolant and all that. That seems to be, that would be a
okay,
big
here we
plus.
go. 74 eBay, 63,000, 94,000, 65,000, 39. Here's one only 39,000. So depends, I suppose, how what
Wow.
yeah, if I got rid of that car for like it needed a major engine work and the quote was like $4,000 and I didn't think the car was even worth that. And I remember I traded it to my buddy John, who did a lot of my marketing work for me, and I think we traded for like $1,700 or something. He
Well,
didn't
that's
give
cool
me
that you
cash,
gave
he
to a
just did
friend.
work.
That was
Yeah.
was cool that you gave
And
to
he
a
did. He
friend.
worked it off. He
To a
did
friend.
work for me
Yeah.
and build, and marketing work, and he ended up he had it in the garage for years, and then finally just got rid of it because it was a project. It needed work. It needed a major engine overhaul.
Did the mice get to it at all?
Well, before that was afraid if I kept it on the farm, mice would have
Right.
gotten into it.
Yeah.
Because there's mice everywhere, because there's grain everywhere and
Mhm.
mice and rats. I mean, it's just hard to keep them out, especially the way our farm was run. My dad wasn't too big on cleanliness, but as far anyhow, so I regret getting rid of that, and also getting rid of my '69 Camaro. I sold my '69 Camaro for like $700.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we all have. I mean, goodness, everything.
What's
that's
your biggest regret, nephew?
I mean,
Something you sold.
Oof. I didn't really have a lot of collectible toys, I guess. I mean, I guess we had, man, it would be nice if I had some of those Lego sets from way back then and just like did what I do nowadays and just leave them in the box. Smart thing to do, you buy two of whatever you get, you play with one and collect the other, But so no, there's nothing that jumps out at me too much. I mean, I got in the turtle stuff later on in life. We'd even collect turtles. My mom didn't like the evil or whatever, so we'd even get to play with turtles. So the neighbor kids play with turtles, and so we play with theirs, and that's how I got into it over the years. And they came out with movies and stuff, and we watched the cartoons and stuff. But so I ended up collecting the turtles on here later on in life, and got a lot of the figures in the original box and stuff that are, I mean, goodness, they've gone up quite a bit in value.
And I
some
wonder,
of them since I've had them.
When I was a kid, we didn't have a TV, couldn't have a TV. Our parents off limits. And so, I mean, when everybody else has a TV and they talk about it at school, that really puts you at a disadvantage. But anyway, I survived. I'm here now. And but I did have spending money more than the average kid because my dad worked me. I started working. I was driving a tractor before I started first grade. It wasn't that abnormal, but I was on the edge of. I was probably worked more than most other kids, but it wasn't like none of the other farm kids worked. All the kids worked. It's expected.
And you were, unlike a lot of kids, you had a vehicle, right? Like there wasn't a lot of kids that had a vehicle.
I had my own vehicle from the time I was like 8th grade. And
8th grade?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I mean, I was driving a car illegally, of course. Before I couldn't see over the steering wheel. I couldn't even see over the dash. And they would make fun of me. If you see a pickup coming without any driver, that's Tim.
That's amazing.
My dad would send me on errands and things to the local little town. Anyway, so I always had money because my dad paid me for my work. He paid me. So I always had probably more money than my fellow classmates because my dad would give me money for working. He was fair about that. I'll give him credit for that. And so I would go, there's a point to this that comes back around. One of the things I used to buy, because I was huge into baseball, Minnesota Twins. I was a huge Minnesota Twins fan back then because I'd listen to the games while I was driving the tractor in the fields. And so I started buying baseball cards because I had spending money. And I had some baseball cards, and I wonder now if I had saved those, what those might be worth. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if that was like what the 70s or the 78, pretty good. Oh, when I collected was the worst time to collect. They oversaturated the market so bad in the 90s that that's when I was a teenager, and they oversaturated like so badly that nothing is hardly worth anything. Only certain cards.
Did they have gum in your packs then? See, I used to buy it when you got gum in with it. You got a stick of gum, and I think I bought it more for the gum than it did for the cards.
Yeah, I remember they talk about when they open those old packs, how those gum will be in there, and because it will kind of ruin the card that's connected to
it, probably.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it ended. It might have ended sometime in the 90s, but I don't ever remember getting. Maybe vaguely. It must have ended in the early 90s or something. But yeah, I collect a lot of cards, but yeah, they oversaturated in the market. And now that they've kind of, you pay more for packs, but then there's not as many cards. I mean, back in the day, you'd pay a few bucks, but you'd have like at least 20 plus cards, I think, in a pack. And nowadays you probably have like 10 or less, so. But yeah, but nothing has gone up in value like the Pokemon cards. Those are the ones that have just gone up crazy amount. In fact, Daniel had a lot of the originals. He had the first edition, and it looks like somebody stole them out of his room. Yeah, because
Well, you're talking about when you had
back when my parents were not house parents, a pastor, and probably somebody from the church. One of the kids might have grabbed them or something.
Not church kids.
Church kids. They're all angels. They're all bless their hearts. So yeah, people came in and out of the parsonage quite a bit. Because it was like right next to the church.
Oh, so, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The one where your dad was pastoring when you guys graduated high school.
Yeah. Or Daniel was graduating high school, and then I was already out of high school. Yeah.
Melvern.
Yep. Good old Malvern.
Malvern, Arkansas.
We had a good time there. My dad loved pastoring there.
That
was a nice church.
Nice church. Yeah.
A lot of good people. Had a good time there, and really enjoyed myself making friends there, and very much a country church. They had the church was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and In fact, me and Daniel had issues with this little town that basically this town police department existed just to give tickets. Basically, they survived out of giving you tickets, and literally, so it was we were in Malvern, but you literally this town was so small that Malvern engulfed it, and we had to drive through this stupid little town to um to get to the house. But so yeah, I was gonna before I talk about the police or whatever, but yeah, so somebody had given land that was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so they built the church out there. So you're just driving along and seeing fields, cows, boop, nice church, can hold a couple hundred people. Just pop from nice paved parking area, and nice church and a parsonage next to it. So it's kind of funny. My first memory there, I might have mentioned this on the podcast before, was one of my first memories there. We hadn't been there probably more than a couple weeks, and I was hanging out with friend Charlie. We were driving in this truck, come along, right before we hit a bridge where the church is. Deer comes bounding across. He hits the deer. I'm like, we hit the deer, and he stops, doesn't miss a beat. I'm like stunned, like what just happened? Okay, we just hit a deer. And I go out and look, and he just in one motion grabs the deer, throws in the back of the truck, and we're off to his dad's house. And I'm like still stunned from being in a car accident and like his house vehicle. He just didn't miss a beat. We grabbed that deer and headed over to his dad, and he gave it to his dad to skin, and that they had deer meat or whatever for a couple weeks or a month or whatever. It was a trip. But I was like just stunned from being in the car accident. You don't hit a lot of deer, but it was like he acted like it was like a weekly occurrence for him. I wonder if he pushed the gas when he saw the deer.
Hey, some venison.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, get some venison.
There's no deer season when it jumps out in front of your car. Deer season's all the time when it jumps in front of your car.
Yeah, well, your grandpa, my dad was a skilled marksman with deer hunting, and was famous in the community for how great he was at hitting deer.
He passed that down to my mom. Was pretty good at him too herself. Did you enjoy hunting? Were you pretty decent?
I did with my dad. Yeah, I'm a trophy hunter. I shot a trophy deer. I still have the paperwork for it.
Oh, cool.
Somewhere, I think. But once I got to college, I lost interest in that. I still would go with my dad hunting just to spend time with him. I went a few times. I left college and met them because it was where we used to go hunt was halfway between home and where I was at college. And I would meet them there. And I went at least one time hunting during that time, and maybe twice, and brought an animal back to the fraternity. And the deal was if you brought a deer back, the fraternity would reimburse you for your hunting license, like $20.
Nice. Yeah, people down south don't even realize, for the most part. I mean, I don't know where all, but especially in South Dakota, I definitely know that the deer are so much bigger, especially in Arkansas. That I know, like the deer are huge in South Dakota. They just, I mean, I guess the environment or whatever, I don't know. I think they're still white-tailed deer, but they just get so much bigger up there.
Well, they eat corn. I mean, but don't you have corn in Arkansas? Don't you?
Yeah, but we just don't have the deer. Isn't maybe that'd be something to Google, I guess. Why are deer bigger up north?
I don't know. If any of you viewers know, put a comment. Let us know. Educate us.
Quickly educate us before I educate myself. Quickly, go. Any comments? The abundance of high quality agricultural forage, cold weather adaptation principles. Cold weather adaptation principles. So being cold, they just get larger, I guess, might grow bigger fur too.
Couldn't tell you. Don't know. Well,
Cool.
my
But
dad,
yeah,
when he was a kid, I should model that on the podcast one day. I still have it. My dad, when he was probably either when he got married or he was in his 20s, and he got a deer and he had the deer skin taken and he had a jacket made. And it has fringe, a lot of fringe on it. It's a very distinctive jacket. And I can wear it. I mean, he was a little smaller than I was, but I can wear it because I took it, of course. When I was the one doing the estate, and it took me 3 months to go through the farm, everything that was there, prepare it for the sale. And my conclusion was I could have done it in a week because almost none of that stuff sold. The top 10 items, the only things that sold, well, there was a payloader, there was a skid steer, there was a tractor, there were his rifles. His rifles went for more than I would have thought. He had Remington rifles, and maybe because they thought he had a reputation for being a dead-eye dick, and they thought maybe if I get Harold's rifles, I can shoot like him. I don't know. Those rifles went for more than I expected.
And they had a story too, I guess. He had maybe a nickname and everything.
Yeah.
I guess he had a little bit of a legend there.
Yeah, so maybe they wanted my dad Harold's rifles, and then the appliances, washer and dryer and refrigerator. Except for those things. One of my stories that I've repeated over and over and over again. My mom's favorite vacuum cleaner was a Kirby vacuum cleaner. I don't know if they're even still a thing now.
You telling me that story.
I've told this story a number of times. Kirby. My mom wanted a Kirby for so long. It was the thing, man. A Kirby vacuum cleaner. She thought she had arrived. And now I don't know. Do they even still make them? Is it still considered a kind of a luxury appliance for use in a home? I'm not sure. But
not as popular, I don't think, as it used to be.
She got her Kirby vacuum cleaner. And those things are built like a tank. They last forever. But the belt that it runs on was broken. So I took it in to the local repair shop, and they sold me a belt, and either I put it on or they put it on, and the belt cost me, I think, $3 because I wanted it to be perfectly functioning. When that Kirby vacuum cleaner went up for sale, it didn't even cover the cost of the belt. It went for $2.50. My mom rolling over in her grave. Her treasured vacuum cleaner went for $2.50.
She might have been one that had been buried with that thing.
Estates. I mean, nobody. It's amazing. We spend so much time collecting material things, and for what? They don't really matter. No, going through, I've been to some estate sales and stuff. You want cheap stuff? Go to an estate sale. Because the things that we value, the chances are, like my mom's china. Usually the women, the offspring, the daughters wanted the china, and so we had grandma's china. I don't know. Somehow we ended up with my grandma's china and my mom's china, and the plates and the things. And neither of my sisters wanted mom's china, and so I took it, and I still have it. It's in a drawer. Or it's underneath the cabinet there. Mm-hmm. Never used it, but I got it.
Yeah. So
nobody wants
things. Aren't just worth what you think. So
yeah,
on my way out, I'm gonna grab a couple guitars. Just don't think anything about
it. Well, but you don't know. You don't know. I mean, like a Pokemon card went for $16 million. So a Pokemon card could be worth, was it $16 million? We watched the auction.
Yeah, it went for 16 million.
Don't I mean, it's rare though. Don't expect everything is going to be worth that, but things can be collectible and worth a lot.
Yeah, you never know. The things that you thought were going to be collectible, a lot of people thought the Beanie Babies were going to be collectible, aren't. Things, and then the thing something be like, that's a throwaway. Like, no, that's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, it can be.
Yep. Time can tell. If we could tell the future or have a time machine, we all be rich. But I'm pretty sure. I think somebody famous tried to throw a party for a time traveler, and nobody showed up. So I don't. As far as we know,
right.
Isn't that a famous thing that somebody really did that,
I think
right?
Stephen Hawking did it. Was it Stephen Hawking that did it?
It might have been.
Soda party for a time traveler. Nobody came. So he said that's evidence that time traveling has not been invented yet, even in the future. I think it was Stephen Hawking that did that.
Yeah, because he didn't tell anybody about it. They just put told about it the next day or whatever. So he should have known about it because you go back in time, whatever. I think the theory is too, though, that it's it's more plausible to go more forward in the time than it is to go back or something. But I don't know. Yeah, it is intriguing but yeah, I don't think it's probably possible. I would say it's probably not possible. But then though, you get, I mean, what people age differently when they go to outer space and all that, and you get you travel far away. I don't know I never paid attention to science. What am I trying to say?
Well, the theory is if you could exceed the speed of light.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
You would de-age. The theory is the speed of light. If you could
or you wouldn't age and everything else would.
If you're going the speed of light, you wouldn't age. And if you went faster than the speed of light, you would de-age.
Or and time would go by quickly while you're just here, like.
That's another way of looking at it. Yeah, time would go by quickly and you're standing still.
Yeah.
So that's the theory about it. And of course, don't try to talk to a physicist. My buddy Jimmy has a really good friend, Mike, who's a physicist. He has 2 PhDs from Harvard, at least one's from Harvard in physics. I've not met him yet, but I feel like I know this guy inside and out. He's a character. And he was talking about alternative universes. And of course, my buddy Jimmy is he's a musician and not highly educated. I mean, he's very intelligent, but he's not educated with that. And he laughs at his friend when he says there's alternative universes. And it makes him very mad because he says it's proven, but no, it's a theory. They call it a theory. The theory of relativity. It's not the fact of relativity. It's the theory of relativity. So it's not proven, but he treats it as if it was as real as this coffee cup, that there are alternative universes. So there are people who believe those sort of things. And probably one day when I meet Mike, I'm going to ask him, is time travel possible? Just from a theoretical physics standpoint. And Schrodinger's cat is the theory from like 1920s. There's a cat in the box, and there's some, what is it when you take a pill that when you want to kill yourself, when the enemy catches you, you bite into it and it kills you immediately.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the name
drug.
of it. Yeah.
Anyway, there's that in that box. And that might have been triggered or might not have been triggered. You don't know.
Pete is coming for us.
You don't know in Schrodinger's cat if the cat is dead or alive. And the theory is...
PETA, we did not do this to this cat. This is just
because apparently when it comes down to molecular physics, the presence of electrons can be in multiple places. You don't know for certain where they are. And I'm really repeating this very poorly because I am not a physicist. And if those of you who know understand, please give me some grace. But Schrodinger's cat says that it could be both. It could be both. The cat could be dead or the cat could be alive. And you don't know until you open the box. So that's the same kind of thing, roughly category, as that there's multiple universes. And there was a movie that won Best Picture a few years ago called Everything Everywhere, I think it was called. It was about alternative universes. And it won Best Picture. Was it 3 years ago or so? Did you ever see that movie?
I started watching it the other day. It wasn't what I thought. It's kind of great. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
It's a great movie. I mean, you don't win Best Picture without being a great movie. Generally speaking.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. Of course.
I thought it would be too
I saw it in another alternative universe. I haven't seen it yet in this universe.
Yeah, I guess that would be more because you usually don't like sci-fi stuff, but it's
That
a
I
little
like.
different.
That
yeah,
kind
a
of
little different.
sci-fi I like.
And then we watched that other movie the other day that was like time travel involved with the gangster movie. That was
I like that one.
That was
Yeah,
those are
because it
just
was
different than
it's time travel. It was a 6-month advanced. So the Vince Vaughn character came back from 6 months in the future to try to save his friend who got killed. And that's
any corporation of cheesiness added into a movie. You don't. You don't seem to like. Is
I'm
that
out. I'm
yeah,
out.
yeah. Like hold the cheese.
But
cheese only on my burger.
So okay, so here's the screen of thought. Normally, I don't watch much TV, but I've been not motivated to work in my studio here, so I'm down in the TV room in the evenings. Last night, I saw looking at the screen. It's got all these different options. Maybe it's Netflix, or I don't know which platform we were on, and it's got the movie series with Bob Odenkirk. One of my favorite actors from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Bob Odenkirk, just love that actor and the stuff he's in. And he's had a new series couple of movies now. My Name is Nobody, or just Nobody.
Nobody.
And he plays a very mild-mannered guy who's really a special forces kind of guy. And I watched the one movie, and it was just too shoot 'em up. I mean, when you got scenes that last for 10 minutes of just relentless shooting guns until this wall of a house falls down. I mean, I can't believe that's real. Ammunition's expensive. You just don't go. I just can't believe that is real. That you just spray the guns.
Too much cheesiness.
Too much cheesiness.
Excessive gun use.
Cheesiness. Yes, excessive gun use. Yes. And the heroes never get shit.
Right. The gun is all the way around him like there's.
Yeah, and they never get hit. I mean, come on, make it realistic at least.
Let's get hit once.
So anyway, Nobody. So I said to Seth, well, we should watch the movie series that came out in the 70s called My Name is Nobody. It had Henry Fonda, Jane Fonda's father. He was probably in his 60s when he played the part as an aging gunfighter, and he wanted to gracefully leave the West. And it was a spaghetti Western. And so we started watching it. And Sergio Leone was the producer. I don't think he was very spaghetti Western-esque, but actually was making fun of spaghetti Westerns. But it still was, it was very slight making fun. It was still very much a spaghetti Western. And so Seth seemed to be really getting into it. So I said, okay, let's stop this and watch the granddaddy of them all, spaghetti Western, the good, the bad.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Ugly. Clint Eastwood, which was the third installment of a trilogy. Fistful of Dollars. I forget the second one. And then The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And we watch, it's over a 3-hour movie.
Yes. Yeah.
And
we're about halfway through it.
We got
started
about halfway through. And we're going to finish it. Eli Wallach, unbelievable. He played the Ugly. Unbelievable acting. He made that movie. He stole every scene he was in, Eli Wallach. And of course, he's passed now.
I just think about my favorite line.
What was your favorite line so far?
I don't know if I want to say the B word or not. It was bastard, but he's like one bastard in, one bastard out.
Oh, right.
He was just constantly talking. Like he was just like
the character just made it just hilarious.
Do you think he ad-libbed some of that? Just the way it rolled off his tongue.
Yeah,
had maybe some was ad-lib, huh?
Yeah. And it was actually, if you read about it, it was very dangerous filming. Oh, we got
right. You mentioned somebody lost their head,
Tanya,
or almost lost their head.
Tanya Nelson is on. I hope I'm not too late. Thank you for commenting. See, we're doing this in real time. Anyway, his cinematography was so different than what Hollywood was doing, and his writing and his spaghetti westerns just amazingly different and higher level of skill, I believe. He did things that weren't being done in Hollywood, and he was the one who made ambiguous heroes and villains. nobody was perfectly clean. Everybody was gray. Whereas the Westerns that Hollywood was making, you got the good guy wore the white hat and the bad guy wore the black hat, and it was obvious who was who. Not Sergio Leone's movies. They're all ambiguous. Well, the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly. The bad was obviously bad. I mean, he had no redeeming qualities. But both the good, who was played by Clint Eastwood, and the ugly, played by Eli Wallach, they were mixed. They were situational ethics in a way. But you learned to appreciate Eli Wallach character because there was a scene where he visited his brother who was a priest, and they visited him in the monastery. And their conversation, you learned that he became an outlaw because of the incredible poverty that he grew up in. I mean, that doesn't excuse it, but he had to survive. And his brother had left, and he said, I had to survive. I was the only one left taking care of the family. And so he, that doesn't excuse, two wrongs don't make a right, but it helps you understand the reasoning why he ended up like that. Great podcast. Thank you so much. Super Stealth Man says, great podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Super Stealth Man. Really appreciate you. You're a nice guy. I like that guy. That was me.
Pay no mind to my nephew. Pay no mind. So anyway,
I came up with that character back in college, Super Stealth Man.
And the da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Da 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 da. So, that iconic score. Ennio Morricone was the composer of that. Absolutely amazing composer.
And the music, my gosh, the stuff that he has composed and then movies he's been a part of is amazing. You were running through it.
John Williams.
Oh, right. Oh, because then yeah. Sorry.
My duties of educating my nephew go on.
It's a full-time job.
So I said to him, Ennio Morricone is the John Williams of spaghetti westerns, and of course, my nephew didn't know who John Williams was, so I had to.
I'm special.
And so John Williams, if you don't know, I mean, Jaws and Star Wars and so many. I mean, and he won an Academy Award 3 years ago. He's 94, 95 now, and he's the oldest man ever to win an Academy Award. He won an Academy Award, so he's still doing it. He won when he was 91 for a score, best score. So John Williams, I mean, just Star Wars alone, the theme for Star Wars, he composed that, and also Jaws.
I was about to, and
some others.
Home Alone. There's some iconic
Home Alone,
song,
yes.
music in Home
Alone. John Williams, just a giant. The cinema would not be what it would be for the last decades without John Williams.
He can't take
music.
Credit for Polka Polka Polka.
You can't take credit for Polka 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 though.
You got pretty good views with that, didn't you?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, so on Home Alone,
it's a Christmas song.
Gus Polinski, John Candy, right? Isn't
John Candy, yeah.
John Candy role he played Gus Polinski, who's a polka guy, and he ad-libbed most of that based on what I've heard. And then the mom needs to get back to Chicago, and she can't get any cars in a snowstorm, and they won't rent her a car. She's trying to get a car rented, and she's, screaming, I have to get back to Chicago. And the Gus Polinski comes up behind her, and he said, well, you got a crisis. We got a crisis too. And the entire polka band drives back to Chicago, and they give her a ride in the tour bus. Well, it's not a tour bus. It's more like a van. And he's describing to her the music that he does, and he lists like 3 or 4 songs. Polka, polka, polka.
And that's all he says right there. That's all he says. And then what was some of the polka twist, Twin Lakes polka, and there's one more I can't remember. And so look, nobody'd ever written the rest of the song, polka, polka, polka. So I wrote
Polka 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 with my buddy Jimmy, and put it out as Gus Polinski because there's no Gus Polinski on Spotify. And so if you go to Spotify or Apple or whichever and punch in Gus Polinski, there's only one song there, and it's Polka Polka Polka. That's me singing, and I co-wrote it with my buddy. And
Pretty creative.
every Christmas, it has a modest spike in views because or I should say, Home Alone now is a
Christmas classic.
Christmas classic now. Because it was set at Christmas when that's where they were leaving. They were leaving for a Christmas holiday, and he's home alone during Christmas is the theme. And
all the actors from it get one or two commercial jobs every Christmas. It seems like. Yep.
And one of the most clever ones is, did the mom pass recently?
I think so. I think yeah.
Didn't she? She did a commercial with Kevin Hart, and she used Kevin.
Kevin. It was
she's calling for Kevin, and it was Kevin Hart. It was a phenomenal commercial. But I think she passed.
Yeah, I was just
within the last year.
Yeah, saying that as
what's the Kathy?
Catherine O'Hara, January 30th. Yep, just this year. Yep.
Here's one. Mama T caught us alive. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate you. I'm a little late to posting this here, but thank you. We appreciate our viewers and listeners. So yeah, she passed how long ago?
January 30th.
Oh wow, this year.
Yep.
She wasn't
71. 71.
She was 71. What was her name?
She
Kathy
pretty
something.
Good for
Catherine
O'Hare.
Right.
She was an Emmy winner. Emmy winner actress. Yeah.
Moment of silence for Kathy O'Hare. Very iconic.
Bad at keeping track of her son, but great actress. Mm-hmm.
So this next Christmas will be the first Christmas without her alive. And of course, Kevin,
Schitt's Creek, which
she was in that one.
Yes, she was the mother. And I was about to say there's some iconic stuff. Oh, Best in Show, she was in that. But yeah, she's pretty iconic for comedies. But yeah, Schitt's Creek is like super popular, and it's Schitt's is their last name. It's SCHITT, and that's supposed to be super funny. I've watched a little bit of it, but pretty iconic. I think there's like 4 or 5 seasons. Looks pretty funny, but
yeah, it's a wealthy family that falls on hard times, and they have to live like normal people.
I think they lose everything, but happen to own this town or something, or like randomly.
Yeah,
it looks pretty funny.
And the lead guy is the American Pie guy,
right? And his son is in it. His son plays his son, and I think that's
the actor has been in so many things.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh, he's been in so much. Oh my gosh, it was a tip of my tongue. My goodness. Dan
Levy, last name Eugene Levy or Levy.
He's fantastic.
Eugene
Levy. And like he's the daddy play. He kind of plays himself to an extent. Like I'm probably an exaggerated version of himself, but he did like a traveling show. And I watched a little bit of it, and like it's very much him. Like he is very eccentric and kind of odd, or just like oh my gosh, what's his name from Independence Day, and bunch of stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, he does the commercials for the hotel commercials, and yeah, he talks with his hands, and oh my gosh, give me a second, I'll look him up.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of different kinds of actors in a way. I mean, this is the non-scholarly approach, but there are those who inhabit their roles.
Christopher Walken is
Christopher
one. That's
Walken,
not who I'm talking
yes.
about, but that's one. That's probably the
They
top of
inhabit
the.
their roles, and some say if you meet them in person, it's like they have no personality. I mean, I've heard that said in the negative way. These people that inhabit their roles are so great at playing radically different roles. If you meet them in person, they're boring because they've spent so much effort. I mean, I don't know if this is true, but I've just read some articles like this. There are people who are so great at inhabiting radically different roles that when you meet them in person, maybe by comparison, it seems like they don't have their own personality. Versus there are actors that basically play themselves over and over and over.
Jeff Goldblum. That's who I'm.
Jeff
He is
Goldblum.
very unique.
He plays himself over and over. I'm gonna say,
but
Jeff
it's
Goldblum
amazing.
plays
So you
himself
always
over
love
and over.
him. You always love him.
He always plays the same person. I'm gonna say.
It's like a person doesn't act like that, and then you hear him like in an interview. I'm like, no, he really sounds like that, and he is uniquely like that. Like that is the neat. I mean, where you find people that there's nobody like that person.
Well, I will say though that there was a freaky movie, and I don't ever want to watch it again because it really gave me PTSD when I watched it. Where he played, what was it, The Fly, where the premise, it's an old movie, and they redid it, where there's a time traveling machine, and this guy gets into the machine to be time travel, and he's naked because I guess you can't have any clothes on, but you can't see anything. I mean, they don't show that part anyway. And a fly gets in there, into the room, into the little cubicle to be transported. And when he gets transported, the fly genes are incorporated into his body, and over time, he becomes more and more like a fly. And it's very, I mean, I still have PTSD from watching that movie. You've never seen it?
No, I haven't. Yeah, that does like that be like kind of creepy.
Maybe it wouldn't bother me now. He did not play the guy that you think he The Fly, 1986. Is a 1986 American science fiction body horror film, directed and co-written by, produced by, loosely based on George's 1957 short story, the same name, and the 1958 film of the same name. The Fly tells of an eccentric scientist who, after one of his experiments goes wrong, slowly turns into a fly hybrid creature. I don't even want to think about it. You've never heard of that movie?
Mm-mm.
George Goldblum was the person who got.
My mommy and daddy don't let me watch movies like that.
Jeff Goldblum was the scientist who slowly turned into a human fly creature. Very, to me, it was very scary.
Yeah, I was watching Amazon. You know, Amazon has some good shows, and they have I was watching the movie that's been a series, Jack Ryan. It's been a really good series, and they just came out with a movie. But I just saw when I was watching the credits, it has the guy from Office in it, and he also wrote it or helped write it. It was two writers. He was one of the writers. What's his name? Chelinsky. No. I can't think of his name right now. I just had it.
I'm still recovering from rethinking about the Fly movie. I don't know. Is anyone else watching this? Did you ever see the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum? I mean, my gosh. Very, very scary.
Do you know the actor's name from The Office? Kozlinski or whatever.
John
John.
Krasinski.
Yes, John.
John Krasinski.
Yes, yeah. So he helped write that too. He's been in writing, but he also did. I know you're much of a sci-fi person, but he came out with a unique sci-fi where it's a sci-fi where there is aliens in it, but the aliens they're attracted to sound. So basically, you just have to be super quiet all the time, and they don't know how to defeat them. They're just super fast, but they're attracted to sound. So like they have the little trails everywhere where they walk barefoot everywhere, and then have a trail on some kind of substance where you wouldn't make much noise or whatever.
I do really well.
It was really unique
in that scenario. I would do really well because I don't make a sound when I go up and down the stairs.
You would be the first one to die, Tim. I'm sorry.
What? I can't be stealthy?
Tim has these new shoes, and I was like, Tim, you should just learn to tap dance because you're just making all kinds of noise on those stairs. If he just did it to a beat, I was thinking he was learning to tap dance.
Even if I'm not wearing the shoes, I'm very quiet though.
Yeah. Did your
that was sarcasm?
Did your mother ever get onto you for like slamming the door or anything like that?
No,
it was like
I don't slam doors.
I love how you laugh. You didn't even believe yourself. She might have been, but you couldn't hear her over the slamming of the door. She just, oh, Tim. Oh, Tim. Oh, good times. Love grandma. Man, just couldn't have spent what.
Oh, you.
Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, you.
Yeah, talk about my mom. I mean, we talked about her. She had brain tumors when she was a teenager that she had to be operated on 2 different times. Once she was 16 and once when she was 20. And it left her somewhat handicapped. She not severely. It was hard for her to walk on a straight line because her balance was off a bit. I mean, she could walk, but she might, veer a little bit. I mean, she couldn't walk a straight line.
She could have used an excuse. She never did, and she gardened quite a bit.
She
got around.
Worked so hard. She worked in her garden. She was an amazing cook. And she, when I was slightly cross-eyed, I never noticed it because she's my mom. And I don't think she could hear well out of one ear because one side, I guess it affected one side.
Did she have arthritis or something? She did, or was
later
that just
she had arthritis,
older?
But that's unrelated
older.
to that. But she lived a full life. I mean, she did everything. She worked, fed the bottle lambs. She didn't hinder her at all, and you couldn't really tell. But so she survived quite well and lived a full life, and so.
Yep, she was a fun personality.
I was going to talk about, but I've lost my train of thought.
Oh,
she was an amazing cook for one thing, and
she was a super talkative. Was she to an extent? I mean, she definitely a good listener.
The roles were very. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Yeah. So, she sacrificed a lot to. Be a wife and to my dad and live on a farm. And my dad was a workaholic, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was loyal to her. He loved her. There's no doubt about that. But he was always gone. I mean, he could survive on 4 hours of sleep, and he would spend that waking hours working. It wasn't all work. I mean, he did like to laugh. He loved to laugh, and especially in his younger years, he would, early childhood, he would take off weeknight to go play church softball, or we had a lot of picnics and things. But I love to travel internationally, and I was thinking about this the other day. Where did I get that from? I did not get that from my dad. My dad was willing to, I think he'd have been happy if he never went more than 30 miles from home. as long as you get to town and back. Whereas my mom had a wanderlust, is the term, and she was never able to really meet that. And
A little bit
with
couple
later
cruises
on when they
and-
retired. A little bit, but I know she would have wanted to do a lot more. And here's something that happened. I remember she was telling me she was born in, my sisters will either 32 or 34. I should know this. So when she was a teenager, before she met my dad, she was working at the local Woolworths not making a lot of money. I mean, what was a young teenage girl make as a clerk at Woolworths? You can't be making a lot of money. She saved up her money with her and her girlfriend. This would have been like 1950, and saved enough money to buy a round trip ticket to fly from here in South Dakota to Rapid City and back. I don't know if they stayed overnight or just was a round trip one day, but that doesn't seem like a big deal now. But in 1950, you're working as a clerk at Woolworths, and you're saving enough money as a teenager, unaccompanied by any adult, to make a round trip ticket. That just, to me, shows her desire for adventure and travel. And of course, once they got married, that pretty much.
Back then, there was still probably a large amount of the population would never ever experience flying.
Yeah. My mom saved up her money when she was a teenager to go on her stuff. Here's a data point. She flew at a younger age than I did. I'll never forget my first flight. I'll never forget. I had not been on a flight until I was a senior in college, and I had graduated, and I had an engineering degree, and engineers were in high demand. So I had 13 interview trips that I went on and got offers on those interviews for a lot of big name companies. All the big name companies, a bunch of them. Some of them are no longer in business. Boeing, Hewlett Packard, Eastman Kodak doesn't exist anymore. Xerox, DuPont, Caterpillar, John Deere, a lot of big names. And I wasn't alone. I mean, engineers were in demand. And the first time I ever went on a flight was my first interview trip. And I remember just coincidentally, I happened to be sitting in the same row. There was a vacant seat between us as the president of the college. Now, the college is about 2,000 students. Not a huge college, but not a tiny college either. And he was sitting there, and he was talking to me because he knew who I was, because I was the editor of the school paper. And he's carrying on a conversation. And the flights were going down. I'll never forget this. We're going down the runway. And I had never experienced that acceleration of you put back in your seat. And I'm starting to have a panic attack. Meanwhile, he's talking to me like he'd obviously flown many, many, many times. I mean, he was president of the college. He traveled a lot, I'm sure. And it was nothing for him. And I remember I was trying to keep my cool and pay attention to him. It's like, yes. Meanwhile, I'm being pressed back into my seat. Like, when you fly. Do you remember the first time you ever flew and you feel those G-forces?
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Of course. Yeah.
If you've never felt that before, that was something that
crazy.
Freaked me out. And I had to pretend like it was no big deal because the president of the college was sitting right there.
That's hilarious. You never told me this. I love hearing a new story from you.
So
that's fantastic.
I just realized my mom experienced flying at a younger age than I did. Just realized that. And she did it on her own dime from working at Woolworths. I mean, props to her.
That's
I didn't even pay for my ticket. That was paid for by the company I was going to interview.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Now, I mean, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old kids go flying. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah. But still, there's nothing like those smaller planes when you're landing. Oh my goodness, I had a girl that put her nails into me when we were landing. She's like, "Sorry about that." I'm like, "Oh, that's all right."
Did you
know her? A little bit smaller. I didn't know her. She was cute. She was talking to me up and stuff.
What the heck? She was flirting with you big time, nephew. Big time.
No, she was freaked out. She was freaked out because we were landing.
She didn't even know you.
No. Well, you just talked a little bit. She was just kind of doing this where you flinch and She was grabbing my hand or my arm because it was freaked out because we were just, shaking a little bit there, the extra. No, that's not the kind of flirting I would like, the painful kind. I mean, whatever. Anyways. I think we'll wrap up the podcast there, guys. Yeah. Guys, thanks for all listening, watching the podcast. Feel free to like us, share us on Facebook, YouTube. We're Spotify and Apple, and we're our podcasts are on mostly where you can find them. Google,
wherever podcasts are sold.
We're that's all, folks. Guys, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy the podcast, and we will see you next time. Bye.